phone tournament. This is the finals. We've got ajneb174 versus Bonta, and they're going to be heading off here. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good. This is exciting, especially after that last race.
Oh, yeah, that silverless Ganon performance we saw out of Bonta was just, like, that silverless Master Sword. That's not easy.
No, especially in hard mode, you're getting half your magic back with each potion. You barely have any hearts. You've got blue mail. It just was. That was fantastic.
By the way, I just want to just shout out that chest turn.
Well, early power glove.
Ben. Oh,
wow.
And then early lamp as well. That'll be nice.
It sure will. A potentially vanilla lamp, I think.
I think you can get lamp in there. Yeah, that would be a vanilla lamp. That's one of the 3 locations for it. You never see it picked up there, but you can pick it up.
No, exactly. It's like the weirdest vanilla location.
So now we're into game 2 of this series. Ben got an automatic Ajneb got an automatic point just for being just for winning during the winners bracket.
Yeah, the winners bracket champion essentially,
Yep.
and then Bonta fought his way up through the losers bracket to get to where we are now.
Yeah, Ajneb has been undefeated up to this point. Like, I think this is his first loss of the tournament. Was the last match.
Like even any game, as opposed to obviously didn't lose a match either. So how about that performance so far? But you come up against Bonta and look what happens.
Yeah, Bonta being the creator of a multi-world, actually, a very talented guy. And there's our mirror, by the way.
Very nice. Not quite as fun of a library shelf this time, as we just have 5 rupees on it.
And there's our moon pearl.
Well, we're getting
yeah
early items again, 2 in a row here. I'm sure Bonta will get around to the Uncle area eventually as well, so he'll be 1 item away from Dark World access. And just a reminder, this is hard mode for all 4 potential games of the final.
Yeah. We've already guaranteed a game 3. That's going to be happening tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming as well. If it gets tied up over the next 2 matches, then we'll have our game 4.
And just like this one, will follow immediately after game 3 if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Bonta heading up now to the Lost Woods, while Ben gets his mirror and mushroom. Yeah.
Some water toes, flippers.
That always makes early game routing a little more interesting. Don't think we had a visit to... Oh, and the silver arrows. They'll be happy to see that.
Yeah, it was just something that was just distinctly not present in the last game.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we even got a visit to Zora or any of the associated checks in game 1. It was just straight to the light world, basically.
Yeah, those flippers were nowhere to be found either, were they?
I think they found them in Ganon's tower.
Oh, pretty well locked up.
Bonta doing the quick early mushroom check. Wonder if you'll see him maybe reset if this doesn't pay off.
He did save and quit, so that is an option here.
It does not, but he does not either. Just going to continue.
Okay. I mean, fake power doesn't pay off until it pays off, right?
That is true. It's like, I probably won't need this. And then you do.
So Bonta is going to give us our South Shore check. And I think, yeah, Ben is going to take those gloves and check out the back half of Escape.
Yeah, I feel like that's a quick, it's a quick check. Just get it over with. So good choice here. Ben had the bomb left, so why not? And where you might normally see a heart container ignored by the top tier players, if it's in somewhere like the dam, this time Bonta says, no, I will take that. Thank you very much.
It looks like also Ajneb decided to skip Dark Cross. He had the lamp. He could have done it, but he'll probably just go back to that later.
Yeah, if at all. Annoying. As many Moldorms always are, but yes, finally.
Yeah, and one bomb left.
Interesting. I was speculating in chat that we might have an Aghanim seed since we saw 2 swords in very quick succession, but seeing the cape, similar idea. And there's 1 sword. Over on Ben's side in the back of Sawasrala's hut.
That's our Aghanim package, isn't it? Between our 2 runners.
That's right, yeah. We've got it all. So could be.
Yeah, I think once Bonta finds that sword, he's probably gonna be feeling that a little bit. Oh, well, he has to find the lamp too, but he'll probably do Escape here relatively soon because they're gonna start running out of options.
Yeah, at least the front 2 with Uncle. Oh, and we have a bottle in Logic since those flippers did show up, so that's an interesting potential play.
So, question chat, will it take Bonta a while to find the power glove? Well, so if another glove shows up, so the problem here is that he's gonna need that glove for Dark World access, and he's not gonna do. He'll likely won't want to do Aga until he's checked Escape.
Yeah, I mean it's on the way anyway.
Exactly. So the odds of him not finding that power glove are pretty low, unless something else opens up Dark World.
And funny that he's making the check he did not make in game 1, where he would have found the lantern. Finds 20 rupees this time.
So Bonta doesn't have enough money for Zora, but I think he's still gonna get some of these checks out of the way here.
Yeah, I was probably hoping to find it, as he did make several checks before finally coming around to the waterfall here and gets Quake.
I guess now maybe get 300 on the Zora ledge. Otherwise, we're
right.
There's just not enough to farm it. Ben could farm rupees for Zora if he felt like it right now. There is a little cave there that you can lift up with a rock. That wasn't open to Bonta though. That 20 is not going to be enough though.
No, it will not. So we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had a red crystal on Eastern Palace, and we had a blue pendant on Desert Palace, with a normal crystal on Tower of Hera. Bonta doing a real quick map check there.
Yeah, it looks like the trackers agree with you.
Works for me.
Which, speaking of which, our tracker Apocalypse Me, I think is how you pronounce that. One of the French trackers. They're pretty great people. They've been working really hard to bring this tournament to you.
As Ben is sure to show off his place in the Houlihan room here.
Yeah, Ben being our 2-time randomizer main tournament champion. All right. So I think Ajneb is going to give us that Zora check that Bonta unfortunately had to skip.
Sure is. Will be interesting if we have something potentially important. That's one that you just... although he does have the mirror, so if he were ever to check Catfish, he probably would go back. But it's not something you'd like to go out of your way for twice.
There. Bonta's giving us the escape play now.
Yeah, so he'll get that. And you wonder if he might continue as well.
Once he sees this lamp in the glove, he may start highly considering Aga 1.
There we go. It is always a question on when to pull the trigger on that.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, he doesn't have the sword yet, but yeah, regardless, I mean, he's got to be thinking it now. And he is going to go through with the rest of Escape, so let's see what we see here. Play that Ben has not made. Well, Ben makes a play Bonta couldn't make.
Yeah, he doesn't have a sword yet, so I think this is going to be a bomb escape.
Yeah, he does have the full complement. Can use the boomerang if he wants to help himself out a little bit, but will have been well practiced at bomb escape, just by virtue of the fact that that is now one of the possible weapons you can get from Uncle in standard mode. Very impressive first room against that blue guard. And just 3 bombs from Zora.
Yeah, Zora's sending messages today. All right, looks like Ajneb is gonna. All right, yeah, he's going to Death Mountain. Hera would be fully open to him. Yep.
And he's got the sword, so unlike Bonta, can complete the Tower of Hera. Of course, you need the hammer or any sword in order to be able to inflict damage to Moldorm. Bonta getting chased by the Green Guard, which is really annoying when you don't have a weapon to hand. He just finds 5 rupees in Zelda's cell and says, that's enough for me. So, a fruitless play, but not a bad one, considering he was up there anyway. And maybe he's headed to Death Mountain, or perhaps... No, he's going to do the back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where his sword was at, right?
I thought that was in Sahasrara's.
Oh, was it in Okay.
Believe so, although I could be mixing up Game 1 and Game 2.
Oh, no, I'm probably being bad.
Okay. Nanban keeping us on the straight and narrow in chat.
It was in Saha. Okay.
And there's the key. Bonta, yeah, he's going to go ahead and go the back way to get to the chest in the dark.
All right. I saw a pendant at Pod.
Yes, the red pendant.
Yep. And I missed the other one.
Okay, we had green pendant at Ice Palace, and we had the final red crystal at Swamp Palace.
All right.
Piece of heart in the dark rooms in the sewers. Ether held by someone friendly, that's potentially useful. Hint.
It's a little vague now, but that will probably narrow down here as we do checks if we don't find it soon.
Bonta going up to Death Mountain without a sword. But he's gonna find one, wow.
Whoa. That could have been bad.
It could have been very bad. It's still not ideal, as you're going to be doing a walking Moldorm with a fighter sword, so you need 6 hits with no dashing. But yeah, could have been a lot worse. So Ben will be looking for 3 spins here, which is a nice advantage over a standard vanilla Moldorm fight. And getting some nice patterns too, until getting chased, but gets away and puts him down. And we have an item in the basement.
I think Ben will go check for it.
Well, he's up here. You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's a nice bomb jump from Bonta, by the way.
Yes.
It's kind of the standing one.
Yeah, he did that in game 1 too. It's a risky one. You need to put in a lot of practice to be confident to do it. And Bonta grabbing some money. Maybe we will see a Zora check from him eventually. And Ben just relaxing. You can get yourself invulnerable by getting stuck in the peg as it comes up, so he does a nice job of that. Takes a break. And we'll see what item number 2 is. The hook shot, wow! How about that?
It's a pretty convenient hook shot there.
That's true. It's convenient, and I mean, it may not actually lead to anything that prevents an ajneb requirement, but I mean, it's still something you're going to obviously want. So,
and speaking about convenient, Bonta is going to be pretty relieved when he sees the sword.
Yeah. He's undoubtedly thinking, hey, I'd love to avoid Eastern for the time being, since I have the mirror, and do it together with Pod later. Able to get the very nice spin strat on that bomb jump and get bumped across. Ben took the conservative route, just in case and fell from above, because if you fall down that hole, you fall 2 floors. So it's not a good time. Lots of money over there in
Cat. Well, there's our blue mail. That's the only mail we're going to see now.
That's right. Definitely a welcome sight on hard mode. Yeah, Bonta down to 1 heart, by the way.
Our Bonta.
So, ooh, boy. Okay. He still needs a couple more pokes, spins, or slashes. 2 more now. Oh, getting targeted.
Oh boy, Moldorm, please.
And able to hold on. Nicely done. And he gets the news he needs to go downstairs. Let's see if he makes the same play, because if he does not, it's a big deal.
So, Eastern Death Mountain in the Light World was a pretty bust. I think Ben's seeing the writing on the wall here, maybe.
Looks like he's making an Agina play.
Yeah, this is. I think this is the last, except going into Eastern.
Oh, he needs to check his mushroom still. So actually, he's doing that.
That's true. Oh, yeah, and Ben's gonna conserve the mushroom. Just resetting the game.
Wants the opportunity to do the powder glitch if needed. If you pick up the Cane of Samaria and don't have any magic, or nearly any magic, when you use it, and then immediately use the mushroom on, well, anything, powder will emerge, as if you possess the powder, because the game is coded. Rather strangely, it's been said.
Bonta's down to a quarter of a heart, or a half a heart.
Yeah, looks like a half heart. Able to survive, and he'll get 2 in here. But we know he's not going to find anything. Nice boomerang strats by Ben there. And yeah, it looks like Ben left Agina behind and just made this play on the back of Escape, and is likely to just immediately mirror and go over to Aghanim once he discovers what Bonta already knows.
So why do we not check that would be in logic right now to avoid an Aga 2 or Aga 1?
Just Agina, I think.
Agina, Eastern could have items. Eastern could have a hammer.
That's a good point. Yeah, he didn't actually go in Eastern. He just went over there.
Yeah. That has 3 items potentially. But you really don't want to double dip Eastern if you don't have to.
If you don't have to, no. Using those spins in order to do tempered sword damage, which you only need 2 hits on the ball and chain guard.
All right, now we're getting our Dark Cross check.
Yeah, which makes sense. Ooh, and a nice 8 bomb drop for Bonta, who was down to 1.
So for those just... Go ahead.
No, it's all right.
So for those just tuning in, this is the finals of the Link to the Past Randomizer Francophone Tournament. Ben has been undefeated up until his loss to Bonta in game 1, just about less than an hour ago. There's glory on the line here. There's also a cash prize. The winner of this series will get $125 US, and the second place player will get $100 US. So there is a little bit on the line here.
Yeah, not a bad little reward. All right, so Ben says, I'm not even going to check Eastern. I'm not going to check Agina. I'm making the play. Well, guess what? So's Bonta, and he's only doing it with Fighter Sword. So he has to use the cape to get in. And he's going to have to do things like he's doing now, hitting these ball and chain guards 8 times each, whereas Ben just got to do a double slash, or a spin on them. So this will create a little bit of a time gap in some small respect. Nice job there by Bonta with the Fighter Sword.
Yeah, we're really going to see a difference that Master Sword makes over Fighter.
Yeah, and it's not insignificant, although you really see it when you've got a Tempered Sword in here. Or a luxury item like, well, they have the silver arrows, but they don't have the bow.
And it's hard mode, so they can't even use the silvers anyway.
That's a fair point. The Fire Rod certainly makes things a lot easier in here, too. Swamp Owl's Big C key and some bombs in the western wing of Swamp. So maybe not worth checking.
That's useful. That's pretty useful intel, though.
Yeah. Sure is. Ben making good use of his pots.
All right, everybody in chat, get your guesses in. How many blue balls are we going to get? I'm going to go with the safe bet of 3.
3 is a pretty solid bet. I'm going to be optimistic and say a big fat bagel. Let's find out. First beam of every round is always normal, and my guess is already wrong.
Yeah.
Right away.
Sure. There's 2.
And yours is not looking good now either.
No, this is pretty bad. We know it's not 15 at least.
Yeah, we do have that. Oh.
Oh boy. I guess being slightly uncooperative, but this isn't the worst.
No, it's not the worst, but it's not great. That's for sure. And your guess, you've got a shot here.
Yeah, 3.
There you go.
Yeah. The statistically correct.
Yeah.
Statistically correct play was statistically correct.
All right, sword went up at 29.11, so let's see. How far apart they end up being. I think, is this it for Bonta? No, not quite.
Ben is he's saying see ya to that piece of heart on Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, which, you know, more power to him. It's awfully tough to pass those by on hard mode when you've got a limited number of heart containers.
So that was at 52.
Yeah, so about 40 seconds apart on Dark World entry. I'm trying to think. I don't think Bonta explored any more than Ben in the Light World, so it's just a pure time difference, isn't it?
Still hasn't done Sahasrah's Closet, so he's down 1 sword over Ben. But
yeah, but then also
that's
behind.
about it.
So yeah, so Ben really has gained time with that check. It's kind of interesting that is how it can end up working out sometimes. Bonta immediately going for the mirror play here with the graveyard ledge, and it's hard to argue with that. Since they have that hook shot, it does open a lot of the Dark World up, even though they don't have a hammer yet.
Yeah, when they do find boots, they don't have to come back to like the Dark World later and route it in that way, at least.
Yeah. And Ben says yes to the ledge as well, but nothing useful.
Then picking up the inferior boomerang.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Wonder if he has a strat in mind. And Bumper Cave, an interesting check, but it's just... Was that a 20 rupee or was it a 300?
I missed it.
Okay. It might have been one of the armor... Okay. Looks like chat says it was 300.
Yeah, I don't think that they're really starved for money right now.
No, they're certainly not. But if that was a 20 rupee in the shape of 30 or 300 or 50 or the like, then that would mean that was the second armor upgrade. Since in hard mode, you can only get one. And Ben gonna make a lumberjack check. May as well. And there's
$5.
Yep, the big $5 waiting for him. Bonta finds the big key in the second part of Skullwoods. So he's going to turn back around.
Yeah, he went for the second part of Skullwoods first.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to make the routing here a little cleaner.
Yeah, nice little play. Especially if he gets a small key in either of these chests. And there we go. Sets up that bomb jump. That bomb's pretty far away, but he got it. And finds the map. Boring. It was a complete waste of time coming to Skullwoods in Game 1 without the Fire Rod, as both items were in the back. This time, at least, Bonta finds a piece of heart. And the compass. So, still not very useful.
We got, one item that's fire rod locked?
That's right.
Yep.
Ben making the same play, and he's headed over maybe to grab a key, just in case. Yep. It's a good way to ensure you don't have to worry about key placement. Another piece of heart for Bonta puts him up to 7 heart containers.
This is a pretty convenient refill there.
Yeah.
He's like on a heart and a half.
A constant theme in hard mode. And having learned his lesson where he found his blue mail after doing Thieves Town in Game 1, Bonta decides to check the bombable hut, but it's only a piece of heart this time. Had a very nice low resources fight against Blind. Kept on script with 2.5 hearts. And he did have a couple of dodgy moments dealing with the enemies. Ben sets up his bomb jump. And Bonta's going to head into Thieves Town, so crystal number 2 on the cards. What we're likely to get from these guys is kind of a loop around the Dark World, south and then around to the east. They do have access as well to a very small part of Swamp Palace, but until they get the hammer, they can't get to more than one item. So that's really what's gatekeeping at this point. And so far, nothing to speak of in Thieves Town, so the search continues. I mean, it is a required dungeon, so no big deal, but we'll be starting to get a little bit edgy about where that hammer, or maybe less ideally, the Titan's Mitts first are.
It'd feel pretty bad if you had to leave the big chest behind.
Yeah, that's never fun. Yeah, and it's always a calculated gamble. I mean, Thieves Town, you're right there, and you kind of just want to get it over with, but it's true. If you don't have the hammer and it ends up not being the map or compass in there, or small key, yeah, it's always nagging you. Just in the back of your mind. And there have been some pretty famous seeds that ended up basically requiring a double dip into Thieves Town to get that item out of there.
There was one during the Splerolog tournament, which fortunately had the Splerolog for.
That does help, yes.
Yeah, where Blind had the hammer, and
the
Quake medallion was in the big chest, and that was required for, I think, TR. Yep. So you had to you had to go back in immediately.
Immediately, right? Yeah. All right, so last chance here. If we don't see the key, and we don't, and that was the other male, we know that it was safe to be in here without the hammer. So, relief for our runners.
By the way, shout outs to that really well placed hint.
I know. Anytime I see that kind of hint, I'm just like, guys, we've known that since minute 5. Thank you very much. Bonta once again making efficient work of Blind in this game too. Very nicely done.
That was textbook.
His reward is the map, but more importantly, the second crystal.
Now, I suspect that what Bonta's going to probably do is probably make his way south, and then over, probably make his way to Hype Cave. and then do whatever checks he can along the way.
Yeah, and if he wishes, he can continue from there, jump in the water, and go over to Palace of Darkness and Eastern, and he'll get his sword if he decides to do that. Oh, well, what do you know?
That'll be Ben's tempered sword.
Yes, it will. So that'll be very nice to have already found within about 45 minutes, again on a hard mode race.
Yeah. This will feel a lot better to them compared to the last race they played.
Certainly will.
So, and I'm sure Bonta is probably going to find his now tempered sword relatively soon once he makes his way to the eastern area. He'll probably mirror to check Sahashala.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing probably stopping him from continuing that play would be if he were to find the Titan's Mitts, he might think, maybe I should go to Darkworld Death Mountain. Big 5 from Stumpy.
We'll have to see what Hype Cave brings about here.
Yeah.
Oh, just to clarify, like when we're referring to Ben, we're talking about Ajneb.
We are indeed.
Yeah, that's another name that he goes by.
Ajneb and his bananas. Yeah, sorry, Benteezy.
Yeah. And Ben's giving us his signature M.
Yep, once again. Nothing in Hype Cave, so Bonta likely to continue.
So we're maxed out on swords now.
Yes.
Yep, there's one more in the pool, but it's just gonna be rupees.
Ooh, now is Bonta making the Swamp Palace play?
Oh.
One item.
Gamble.
Yeah, it sure is. It's quite an investment of time to check just this one thing. You do get a hint, but it's a slow process getting Swamp to be accessible, doing the pull here, and
which is interesting compared to the fact that he did skip Catfish.
Right.
But yeah, so it's not like he's trying to be thorough.
No, he's just going off a feeling, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if this pays. I hope it pays. This would be really awesome. Like,
it would be. You'd like to see a gambly kind of play like this pay off, so caches in Hookshot Cave, well, that's not a very useful clue either. We're not getting very good ones by and large. All right, so
moment of truth.
One check, and it is 20 rupees.
Is not the hammer.
No, he's going to save and quit to the pyramid, so that is actually a little bit of efficiency. He doesn't have to go the swimming route now. He's on the correct side of the pegs. Ben checking Agina, so this would be exciting if he had the hammer, and both players will feel behind if that happens. No.
We really won't know for certain that this was an Aga seed until we have somebody checking Eastern. But
yeah, that's true.
Like, it feels really good now that this Aga was required.
Yeah, I think we can be fairly confident. And I think we're likely to see Ben make the same play, as Mentos Man pointed out in chat. If you don't have the hammer, it takes you a long time to get back here. So doing the check early, but no, Ben's going to pass it up. And now going to do his hype cave check. And we already know Bonta's not going to find anything interesting on Zora. Meanwhile, bottle number 2 for Ben in the pretty unhypey hype cave for the second game in a row in this match. And Ben going to go for a swim, I think. I have a tendency, I think because of where Hobo is, to start swimming up that channel instead of just getting out. It's a pretty rare play to have to do that, so it's not something you do regularly. Ben on his way to the Palace of Darkness, and Bonta looks like the same. He's taking the slightly more conventional way of getting there. And yeah, Bonta has yet to check Sahasrala's hut. So Ben is not just ahead by how much closer he is to Palace of Darkness, he's also ahead by that check. But it is neck and neck at this point. They've been forced by circumstances to pretty much mirror each other as far as their routing choices go. Close.
Yeah.
Not identical.
We pretty much hit our point of convergence here.
Yeah, exactly. As Bonta ties up this loose end. I will be interested to see if he decides he'd like to do Eastern before Pod. As he picks up his tempered sword. So we're maxed out on swords, we're maxed out on armor. Still got some bottles out there that our runners can pick up. And we're not bow locked in Pod, so Ben heads up to see what he can see. Nope, Bonta goes straight into Palace of Darkness as well.
Does Ben have a potion?
He's got 2 bottles, but I think both maybe were bees, so I do not believe so.
Okay.
Now, yeah, Ninban pointing out he can do the mimic clip, it's a bit more time consuming. Especially to go out of logic for, so we'll see what he decides to do.
Looks like he's gonna go. He's gonna at least read the hint. No, he's gonna read the hint.
He's gonna read the hint. Okay.
Wow, the hints in this seed is just not there. We've gotten like one that was like reasonable, but
reasonable, if not probably terribly useful either.
I don't think Bonta has a potion either.
No, I believe they both have 2 bottles with bees, so... Oh, and Bonta looks like he is going to do the mimic clip, or he's forgotten what he's got in his bottle. But nope, he's headed straight up there. So here we go. This is a recently discovered clip, and you've got to do a lot of buffering and a lot of basically single frame inputs, and you eventually get him to just run through the wall.
Yeah, it takes some time to execute, but this could end up paying off for him.
It could. And you can see him starting to creep into the wall a little bit more. There he goes. Got it.
Beautiful.
And we found the bow over on Ben's side as we were watching the Mimic clip, so...
Wow.
Very interesting find, especially with Eastern just on the other side of the Dark World portal. Oh, there's a hammer!
Whoa! What?
So Bonta has bypassed the intended logic within the same dungeon and probably saved himself some time.
That's... Wow. Sorry for the headphone users out there. That was a bit exciting, though.
It was. Wow. I mean, to be fair, we were running out of stuff to do. So this had to basically happen. But man, what a way for it to happen.
The funny thing is that we actually aren't 100% certain if that Ego 1 is required yet. We won't know until they go into Eastern.
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, what if we find the Titan's Myth in Eastern Palace? Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the flippers, it would have been in Logic.
That's right.
So, there's... And this is a pendant, so they're going to duck out of here.
Bonta gonna absolutely love what he finds in the first chest in the dark room. And Ben says, yes, please, straight to Eastern with this bow.
Wow, this actually really worked out.
Yeah, sure did. All right, so does Bonta say, I'm leaving Helmsor King behind as well? Yes. So both runners deciding not worth the time required to invest into that last item. Especially with how much will have opened up. You can see why. Plus, I mean, both of them from where they were. I guess, well, Ben had a little bit more of a jump on if he wanted to go back there than Bonta did, but either way, if you do decide to go back, say, after you finish Eastern, you haven't wasted too much time, so.
Yeah, now Swamp Palace is open.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot more in front of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a hint that would have been nice to have gotten before doing the mirror check above the graveyard, that there was a boomerang up there. So yeah, once again, the game not timely with what was, in theory, a useful hint. A welcome heart container for Ben in the... Oh, and we have an ice rod. I did not see that earlier.
You skip the chest, he'll probably come back to it.
Okay, well that certainly explains it. A required item, with Turtle Rock being a crystal once again.
And I think it's also official. This was an agate seed. It's official now.
Yeah, trying to think of another way to have sequence broken to avoid it, and there just weren't any options left.
Nope.
They did indeed pay Zora 500 rupees for 3 bombs.
Zora a bit rude today.
Yeah. Nice arrow drop by the Popos.
Yeah, since it's being hard mode, they don't have access to use those silver arrows yet. So we just got to do this the old-fashioned way.
And dispatched with... Oh, and we have the flute.
This is an amusing logic chain right now.
Yeah. It doesn't really open anything up right now. It's nice to have it.
Yeah, it doesn't... I'm sure we're going to find our Titans myths relatively soon, though. They're probably in Swamp. Well, they have to be in Swamp, don't they?
They pretty much have to be. I mean, it could be the book.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I can't think of...
Or something that leads to it.
Yeah.
Like Fire Rod or...
Yeah, Fire Rod, yeah, that would work. It can't be like Mitts on Pedestal because that's Ice Palace. Would have to be involved, so that's not possible. We do have the Helmasaur King question.
There's one item. Is there one item left in Pod?
Yeah, there sure is.
So. Yeah.
So imagine that. Yeah, Bonta says no thanks as well. So probably going to make the same play as Ben. It's not that this seed was necessarily absolutely linear, but it definitely had a limited number of branches. And these guys being, good players, good logikers, they've kept pretty close to each other.
Yeah, I think both of them read the seed pretty well. This is Ben's first dip into the swamp. He's probably glad.
Yeah, Bonta.
Yeah.
He's almost like trying to avoid it. It seems like. We'll see if he just flutes to 7 though, as we get the tune.
And the audio's back on Ben now. That was beautiful.
Yes, well done by our speed gaming technical crew. All right, so Bonta hot on Ben's heels. His second trip into Swamp Palace. So yes, Ben's little mini gamble on this one item did save him some time. It'd be interesting. When you think about how many small decisions in close races can make a difference, if, this ended up being a race where 30, 45 seconds separated the two.
And Ben got that hint. I think Ben was the one that read that hint, right? About West Side Swamp? I think they both have it.
I think they both did, because wasn't that in Hera? I think it was one of the Hera hints. Yeah, so I think they both.
It was. There's our Spire shield. That'll be the best shield we'll find in this game.
Yep, maximum shield achieved. Now, what the runners really want to see, since they know what's on the west side of Swamp, is a leftover compass or map. Because they know there's bombs and they know there's a big key on the left side. So if there's a compass or map left, then that's in the chest, the big chest, and you don't have to go back in. Save yourself a little bit of time.
That's good. Yeah, we just don't want to. I think we don't want to see the compass.
Right.
Or map. Yeah. All right. I got mixed around.
Whichever.
Yeah.
One of the
garbage
directional items. Yes.
Yeah. The garbage we don't care about. We'll have to see. It really depends on what Argus has, but I suspect they're probably going to have to come back in here. They're probably not going to want to orphan that. If Argus has, like, progression.
Yeah. Be an interesting call, although it's less of a gamble than it normally is, already knowing what one of the items is. Nice job here by Ben, getting really, just excellent form there. And he's going to try the Ice Rod strat, which is tough. Nails it.
That's beautiful.
The timing of that, yeah, is difficult. Oh, and there it is.
Oh, there's our Titans. It's a classic. So we know we need Fire Rod. We have some outstanding medallions as well. Looks like Ben is just going to just say no to the big chest.
Yeah, sure is.
I don't blame him.
No, not with what that just opened up. And also has keyed onto the facts, oh yeah, I've got 2 red crystals, and I'm right here. May as well check this too.
Yeah, since I've done egg at 1.
This is going to be really quick.
Did he just leave the bomb behind?
He sure did.
Unless he's going to dupe it.
Perfect.
Oh, he duped. Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
That was a beautiful bomb dupe.
It certainly was. So that's one of those weird glitches in the game. If you happen to cross right on the count of 0, the bomb just reappears behind you.
Yeah, it can be kind of dangerous. You could end up losing the bomb.
You can, yeah. And yeah, just had a look at Bonta's inventory, and I thought so. We never saw the compass, so the compass is in the big key chest, or in the big chest, rather.
Yep.
Okay. Nothing in Pyramid Fairy. And Bonta gonna make the same play on the big red bomb, big orange bomb, whatever he is. And looks like Ben is going to do his flute release. We'll get another full rendition of the Anthem of Hyrule. But then where do you think he's headed? Let's have a think.
You'll probably want to get a beat on what his medallion requirements are.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, because he's really close to go mode.
Right, and the Meyer check is especially rewarding under these circumstances. With the mirror available, and that's where he's headed. Quick check. Oh, interesting book placement. The reverse book fake out kind of thing there. So, not really an item either runner wanted to see. We have a Quake Meyer. Bonta, on the other hand, is going to Death Mountain, so he says, I'll check that medallion requirement. And although we've marked it on... Oh, and there's the Cane of Samaria, the shed!
That's going to help Ben.
Big time.
Because, yeah, he'll just be able to do all this, right now.
Exactly.
I think it's exactly what he has plans on doing.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Bonta, while he can open up Turtle Rock, he cannot go in, and so that's at least one extra trip to Death Mountain on the dark side that he's going to have to make. So again, just small choices. That's really what it often comes down to in these high-level Link to the Past randomizer races. And often ones for which there isn't a right answer.
Hey, when you don't have sword beams, improvise.
Yes. And thank you very much for the subscription, Wildfire. As Bonta heads into Hookshot Cave, having discovered Turtle Rock also requires Quake, so whatever that friendly soul that is carrying Ether around doesn't matter. Ooh, a third bottle for Bonta. That's a nice luxury item.
Yeah, it's like Spike Cave, and then he's probably going to be forced to go to the Mire area.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot more, really, choice. Now, yeah, he is going to check Spike Cave. It's interesting. So, Cape drains your magic, if I'm not mistaken, twice as fast.
Oh, it's
hard
normal.
Mode. Normal while you're in Spike Cave?
Yep.
Okay. That also makes sense. Just 3 bombs, so the search for the fire rod continues. And yeah, certainly Bonta likely to check the Mire Shed, I would think. He also, I think he still needs to check Agina, so he may do this in kind of a different order than Ben did. It'd be interesting to see. All right, so he's got his Cane of Samaria.
I think Ben skipped the vanilla big key chest, I think, in Mire.
Yes, he has so far. He avoided that in the hopes that he would find the second item. And he does! It's the fire rod!
Well, that's a good find. Yeah,
He decides... Yeah, that's an interesting play.
It's a crystal, right?
It is.
He has gear he needs. Maybe potions. I can see that.
Yeah, needs to ditch some bees.
He has both items, so he knows he can do it later. So he might just go back.
Looks like he's going to do Skull Woods. It'd be interesting to see what Bonta decides to do if he makes the decision to continue on in Misery Mire. He does have 1 heart more than Ben.
So the one thing we don't know right now, as chat brings up, is if those boots are required for GT.
Yes.
There's 1 item location.
That 4.8% chance, I think it is. So, yeah.
We'll have to see on that.
We certainly will. I doubt if Ben is going to go up to Dark World Death Mountain before finishing the other crystal dungeons. He's going to hopefully assume that Turtle Rock is also Quake. as he heads straight back in the back area of Skullwoods. Gets trolled a little bit by the Gibdos. Does a nice job dealing with them. Has no key, so he's kept a fire rod shot for this Gibdo. Dispatches it coolly. As Bonta heads up to do the big key chest in Mire, but we know that's not going to be a useful play.
And Ben is... He's got to keep... So the secret here is he's got to keep Mothula in the middle of the room so he's not over spikes.
And there's a welcome heart container. Yeah, that was not a terribly kind pattern, but he dealt with it well.
That was our fire rod locked item as well, so we know the other chest doesn't have anything.
Correct. They found a piece of heart in the front quite a while ago. Bonta with the clue, and it's a useless one. A literal useless one, not just a per se useless one. So, and he gets his map.
I'll just take this opportunity just to kind of remind people what they're watching right now, so we're getting some questions. This is the finals of the Link to the Past Randomizer Francophone Tournament. Francophone meaning French speaking. That's French for French speaking.
Well, English for French speaking, I suppose.
English for French speaking? Oh.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm ignorant in these things, I guess. But anyway, the Francophone community has been doing their own tournament over, I think, the last several months. I think this has been a really long-running tournament.
Yeah.
And this is the finals. We have Ben, who has been undefeated up until his previous game against Bonta.
And not just undefeated in matches, but undefeated in games.
Yes. Coming from the winner's bracket, he got a free point. Well, I wouldn't call it free, but
no, he earned it. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, he earned that point. But yeah, so he got a point for being the winner's bracket finalist.
That's right.
And yeah, right now this is the finals. This is game 2 of the series. We'll be seeing another match tomorrow as well. And then depending on who wins that one, we may have the second one as well tomorrow on Sunday at the same time.
That's right. And if I'm not mistaken, Bonta did not check the right side chests.
Yeah, he does it.
And is making the gamble that Vitreous will have the second item in here.
I hope he decides to come back.
Yeah, if he does not, it's straight up game over without a question. If he does, well, he made an unlucky play, but it happens.
Yeah. Also, the winner of this series will also play the champion of the German tournament. That the finals start on Monday as well. So there'll be like a super championship between the two communities, and that will be a matchup you won't want to miss either.
All right, Ben. Yes, he was doing sort of an NMG strat there, making quick work of the eyeballs, whereas Bonta is going to have to do what he did in the first race, just with a little bit more ease, having the tempered sword as Ben pumps Vitreous full of wooden arrows. Oop, takes a hit, does Bonta, so he's down to 1.5 hearts, effectively 1 hit remaining. Well, 0.
All right.
But he's now ready to go as well.
Phase 2, 8 arrows. Bonta's going to have to come back into Misery Mire.
Yeah, or he's going to think, it's just one item location. Let's find out. As Ben heads off to Turtle Rock, and yes, Gerdo has reported that the finalists in the German tournament are Gem and Error. They'll be facing off. And yeah, Bonta has left. So that does it, unfortunately. It's not a bad play because it's one item location. You've got Desert right here. You've got Helmasaur King. You've got all of Ice Palace. He didn't know the book was there, but you've got that now. It's just bad luck. He was maybe feeling like a couple of his choices, including the early Swamp Palace dive, cost him time, trying to make that up where he could. But unfortunately, caught him out this time. What a lovely hint. Yeah, if he lucks out and there is a Fire Rod hint, it certainly wouldn't hurt. But with every second that ticks by right now, he's doing something that's not required. While Ben is fast on his way to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, he's in go mode right now. He all we need to do is find that big key and enough small keys.
Yep.
Whereas Bonta's going to be doing a whole bunch of this stuff.
Yeah. So he needs a hint, and he needs it fast. And the runner's resource situation actually works against Bonta now because you have what's going to be a relatively easy Ganon fight for hard mode. Probably 10 hearts by the time we get to the end. Blue mail. Silver arrows. So really little chance of any terribly bad things happening on that fight. As Bonta checks out Checkerboard Cave. And now he's making his Agina check. Meanwhile, Ben flying through Turtle Rock's front set of rooms. Really ugly RNG there with the chain chomps. It's massively annoying when they get in your way when you're trying to deal with that crystal polarity. And looking like Bonta going to do the Village of Outcasts Titansmith's checks now. Unlucky there for Ben.
That bunny sprite.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a massively annoying situation. It's gotta be one of my least favorite rooms in the entire game. They're kind of back to back. You've got the Chain Chomp room, and then you've got the Anti-Fairy Bunny Beam Skull Pokey room. Just 10 arrows there for Bonta. In hammer pegs. Ben not taking any chances, even though he's up a key. because he did have to use the key to get to the lava island. And there's the someone friendly holding ether. It was indeed the dwarves.
I mean, everybody send like your brainwaves to Bonta. Like, go to Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I will say right now, like, based on the information that he has right now, he's actually making the correct plays.
He is. That's right.
Yeah. So always keep that in mind that, like, you have imperfect information. You know, you just kind of have to go with the biggest density that you've got.
Yeah, and as good as Bonta is as a player and at execution, he knows he's up against Ben, who's excellent. Mm-hmm. So in the effort to save some time, these sorts of things happen. They just do. All right, so now we're going to get a check of the tablet. If that book, which he saw, he thought maybe, okay, yeah, that's a check I can have a look at.
So, Cape works normally in this room. And there you go. There's our...
Yeah.
Zip.
Easy key. So Ben is on his way to Trinex.
Yeah, there was a non-zero chance that the boots were there.
That is a good point. I mean, that's really probably the last possible saving grace shot that Bonta would have.
Because I'm sure, like, yeah, there we go. Phase 2.
Brilliant. Okay. I guess we're getting started.
Yep. Everybody get your guesses in. If you're subbed to any channel or cheered at least 250 bits, you are eligible to play. Get a number in chat, 1 to whatever.
I mean, put in whatever number you want, but
yeah.
Now this is interesting.
Like, has there been any 3 guesses? Oh yeah, there's been some 3s.
Some 3s, some 1s.
We'll go ahead. We'll close guesses once Ben gets into Ganon's tower.
All right. Chess
Here we go.
1 and 2. Yes, we do.
$20 and a small key.
And Ben is going to keep the tension up and continue full right once again, as he did in game 1. Meanwhile, Bonta on Lanmolas, finishing them off with the Tempered Sword. Very nice. He gets a piece of heart for his trouble.
Hopefully, maybe. Come on, Bonta. Go back to Meyer.
That's 6.
There's 6. Yep.
And the flute has come out, so Bonta is not going back to... He is doing Helmasaur King.
Did he check pedestal?
No, I don't believe he did.
Do you think it's on pedestal?
Well, it's, you know, it could be. If Bombos is out there somewhere, then logically it could be. So he may just, be thinking, well, I'll do what I need to do in the pendant dungeons, and then I'll just go check it. Probably pull it blind.
7, 8 is 10 arrows. 9, 10. Oh, this would be 11, wouldn't it? Because of the torch.
Yes.
And the torch was nothing, so.
That's right.
$12 is the 10-pack of bombs.
Now, Ben grabbed that red boomerang, and we still don't know why. He's using the blue one here.
Is this more bombs? $14 is the net. 15 is just a 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, the net that you can't catch fairies with in hard mode.
Yeah. It's literally just good for fighting ajneb.
Yep. Well, and bees if you really want them.
Yeah. I mean, you could catch a good bee. Go out of your way to the ice rod cave.
Bonta not using his tempered sword for some reason on these turtles. Huh.
Chest 18. Just a heart container. Bonta's hammering out his differences with Helmasaur King.
Alright, so the always fun Ice Armos with wooden arrows. Very good time. Oh,
that one. How those
Ben getting robbed? I don't I don't know what's going on there. There it is.
It's 19.
Number 19. Right? Yep, that was it.
All right. Or was it 20?
No, it was 19.
It was 19. All right.
And Ben did get a unique item after that, the single arrow. Not going to mess with clipping the mimics. He's got enough arrows to deal with them, although he really should pick up these, and he does, so that he has some arrows for Ganon.
Shout out to Space Mousy, winner of the game with a guess of 20.
So no 19 guess.
I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely sound there.
Yikes.
Yeah. That leaderboard was specific to the Francophone tournament.
All right, Bonta making the Turtle Rock is Fire Rod here play. We will find out if boots are on Laser Bridge. Oh man, imagine they were.
the good news is that I think Bonta's gonna. I think the key layout is gonna stop Bonta really quick.
Well, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I think you're right. Because, yeah, weren't there bombs in the lower left?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
then,
he'll just...
Yeah, there was 2 small keys.
Yeah.
So there's no...
Get stopped immediately. Ben, conserving fire rod shots, not a bad idea when you can do pretty decent damage with spins. As you see.
All right, Bonta. What's the play? I think he's going
Play
back.
Is Meyer. Yep.
I think he knows.
I think he does. Although he's not touched Ice Palace, which is interesting. Then again, he doesn't have Bombos.
Yeah.
Wonder where that is. I mean, we've checked basically all of Ganon's tower just about. Maybe it's in ice. It could be in ice.
Yeah.
Since it's not actually required to get in there. So, yeah. Could be tile room. Could be one of these chests coming up for Ben that he most likely won't check.
There's really nothing useful Ben can find at this point.
No. A bottle that happened to have a potion would be, like, really it. And he doesn't really need that, so...
Yeah, I'm sure he's not feeling like he's in danger right now.
No.
Yeah.
Wonder if he'll do a cane glitch for a couple of hearts here. No. He's just gonna grab the magic refill. And proceed. One slash and one spin with the Tempered Sword. Finishes off Moldorm 2.
I'm sure he'll skip this chest too. Yeah.
Certainly does.
See a chest.
And Bonta finds his fire rod.
There we go.
And he knows the race is lost.
Yep. That's what it's certainly looking like. I don't have access to SRTV right now. Or of the chat room.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't either. Ben finishing off ajneb174 in short order and headed to Ganon. Sub 135.
Okay.
Bonta going to go ahead and go to Ice Palace, which actually that's a sensible play. His only hope is really that boots are required.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty straightforward fight for Ben.
Certainly is.
It's going to be certainly less complex than the previous match.
Yes,
or the previous game.
It's even simpler than your typical no major glitches speedrun Ganon fight because you have the silver arrows. You just have to remember to switch to them. Because we're in hard. And Ben says, I'm fine with using my blue potion right now. It's good for 7 hearts in hard mode.
Yeah, he's past the
welcome
hard
7
part.
hearts. Yeah. Just did not want to even take any chances. He knows he can finish Ganon off with the amount of magic he has, no problem. And he did switch to silvers, gets his first shot in, and does not get the torch glitch, but he's setting up for a triple. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Oh, dose. Oh.
Oh, missed it by a frame or two, but he finishes off Ganon into the lower right corner. Get your GGs out in chat for ajneb174.
Yep, everybody get your GGs out there.
He finishes with a nice solid 135 and some change.
This was a 7,000 series train. That's a AGDQ 2019 meme from the DC Metro trains.
Ah, yes.
If you were there, you'd know. So my understanding is we'll have Ben in the interview booth on the English side here. I'm not sure if he's gonna. You probably do the French interview first, probably.
And we welcome ajneb174 to the chat. GG.
Hey, thanks.
Hey.
Well, that was a couple of excellent races. Why don't we start just really quickly talking about the first one? And I mean, you ran a really good race, but Bonta was just unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know, I guess, why I lost the first one. It was pretty straightforward race, and I just did a lot of extra checks that I should have not done. That's probably why I lost a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, it really did come down. We were talking about during the broadcast of this race, small decisions that add up when you're at this level, facing a good player, and you often don't know. It's just that's how it ends up being. And then, of course, in the case of this one, Bonta skipping the right side of Meyer, so similar kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, he did do a lot of skips, it seems.
Yeah. And what did you think? This was we were saying there weren't a lot of branches you could take in this one. It was pretty linear.
Yeah, it was. I mean, pretty much when we got to pod, it was really like, if it's not here, then it would be a one-off location like Swamp, Spy Cave. That was pretty much it, so it had to be pod or Eastern.
And we were running out of choices, basically.
And then after, really, it was pretty much free after that, just going in Swamp, getting the meds, going to check if you need, I mean, if you have what you want. The cane being just next to Maya. I mean, everything was pretty good. The only thing that could have gone badly would have been if Quake was not the medallion for Tian, or the boots were required. I guess Ether was on Sahasrara? I'm not sure.
Ether was on the Dwarves. We've just found out Sahasrara has the powder.
Okay.
Which is interesting, and I think Bonta's going over there to check it out.
Yeah, I did fall fate a few minutes after.
Okay, and we were wondering if he was making the play, if boots were required. Like, that would really be all that was left.
Yeah, I think that's what he did when he went to ice when I was not done yet. But yeah, when I was done, he like fall fate a bit after.
Gotcha. So 2-1 with one victory, and then of course one bonus win that you were granted by virtue of blowing through the winner's bracket as you did. How do you feel? Oh, we see on your side pedestal.
Oh wow, the boots! I didn't check when I finished. Oh, that's pretty bad. In the seat before, it was a sword, and the silver as well on Lumberjack. That was also pretty nice.
Yeah, after the first game.
I don't want to say what if very often, but if.
What if?
Yeah, but what if the torch had?
Yeah.
That would have been very interesting.
It certainly would have.
I don't think so.
That's the correct response there, probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, surely you can't disagree with the interesting part. I don't know about anything else.
It would have been interesting. Oh, he's actually going to get it. Bonta.
Yeah, I don't think he would check the pedestal text. So this is blind. Yeah, I think this is about the time he forfeited, is once he saw the boots. Yep.
GG.
Yeah. So, any last thoughts from us for maybe going
Nah.
like into your third game here?
Not really. I mean, pretty much we'll play the same. Hopefully, it skips a lot of things and gives some good items again.
It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think it does. Also, hopefully no hover.
Well, indeed. But no, you two are a couple of excellent players, and it's been a pleasure watching you back to back today. Just a couple of great performances.
Yeah, thank you so much for the commentaries and the big restream on German, English, French.
All over the world, all over various tongues. Just yes, amazing stuff by Speed Gaming. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thanks so much.
It looks like they want you on the French.
Yeah, I saw that. See ya.
Yep. See ya.
Well, that was, just a couple of great races in a row, and it can happen in any race. That one little check makes all the difference. Even if we did, I think we can fairly say Ben had an advantage and he was going to have to lose it. But that sealed Bonta's fate, of course.
Yeah, they still have game 3 and potentially game 4. Bonta can still pull this out. He's only one game behind at this point. So that's happening tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That will be on Speed Gaming, right here, the same channel. And after that will be game 4, if necessary.
Just like today, back to back.
Yep, just like today. So I'll go ahead and let's see what else is on the channel later today here.
And let's, of course, thank our tracker.
Oh, absolutely.
Lolia. There's our runners. Like and follow those runners if you get the chance. They're obviously excellent players.
Indeed. And so if you stick around, in about 15 minutes, there's actually going to be a Super Metroid double anti-bingo match at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's like 16 minutes. I'd recommend checking that out. And there's also a crowd control race tonight between Sakura Tsubasa and Willard J. Bradley, also happening at 5 o'clock, also on Speed Gaming.
Those are
tonight.
Always fun. Yeah.
And I think the entire channel is pretty much, and then there's Final Fantasy 1 at 8 o'clock. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the schedule today. I'm sure everybody here will find something they want to watch.
Well, especially if you like randomizers. Which clearly,
Absolutely.
if you were watching this, you do.
Yeah, there's an OWG match at 10 o'clock tonight on Speed Gaming 1 between Chex Human and Faraimi. Yeah, there's a whole lot of random to be had today.
So stick around.
All right. So I've been Sinak, and I've been joined by
Justin Z. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Good night or good day.